Hello everyone, my name's Mitch.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to Educational Fun Times with Mitch and Ben.
And we're keeping with the theme of vehicular video blogging, so
Enjoy the ride.
We
are going to. Anyways, in today's episode, Ben and I are going to talk about blogging in a mathematics classroom. Pros,
Makes sense.
cons.
Yeah, because we're both math majors.
That we are.
Mitch is an English minor.
English minor.
And blogging is something we've always wanted to do in our classes, but we're not exactly sure how.
And this gave us a chance to just examine the different ways, looking at what we've learned and how we personally want to use it in our classrooms. And actually, we had a conversation with our friend, Mrs. Kelsey Rogers, who used it in her internship in her math classroom. So we were talking about how we want to use it in our classroom. Why don't you go ahead and talk about how you'd like to use it first, Ben?
Well, I'd like to have it just as sort of a place where, kids can talk about their successes and their failures. It'd be good for me to see, because I know there's lots of kids that don't want to come up and talk to their teachers, or have that embarrassment of asking a question in front of their peers. So I want them to have their blog as like their question period, where they can ask me whatever they want without having that public interaction sort of thing.
That's really good, because like you said, there are those kids that really don't want to raise their hand. They feel embarrassed or intimidated to ask questions in class.
Right. What about you, Mitch? What do you want to use it for?
Well, for me, being a English minor, I like the fact that blogging can give students the chance to be creative, because a lot of students view math as not being a creative subject. So this gives them a chance to maybe use other skills that they are better with, that they have more, they have a stronger strength, they're stronger in, say, their English skills. And so blogging gives them a chance to show that, but also to help them solidify their ideas on the concepts that they've learned in math. So it gives them a chance to think it through and think it over again, and help them develop a better understanding of the concepts they've learned in math through a creative facet.
Right, like maybe they're not a pictorial learner and they don't want to write equations down.
Exactly.
If they want to write a paragraph about, a function, that's cool.
How it works.
We're going through a rough patch here, so just hold steady.
And another way that's useful is that you can even, instead of like just doing blog entries, you can do themed blog entries. So it's like write a story about, say, this equation, having them work things out creatively, giving them their own chance to throw their own spin on what they've learned. So it kind of shows you if they actually do understand it based upon what they've written. So it shows you whether they understand it or not in a different way, besides just seeing if they have the right answer or not.
That's right. Hey, Mitch, do you know what that sounds like?
What does that sound like, Ben?
That sounds like cross-curricular learning to me.
Well, I'd say it does.
Little bit of math, little bit of English, hey?
Getting right in there.
Yeah.
It's great. And it's an awesome chance to work in that cross-curricular learning, because that's a big thing now as well. In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and start talking about what our good friend Kelsey told us about it in her classroom.
Yeah,
and
she gave us a few jot notes. We have not looked at them yet, so we're going in cold.
So we asked Kelsey to give us the best of what happened in her classroom. And she said what Ben had described is that the students with no voice had a chance to talk. It gave them an opportunity to speak out in the class and participate in a way that they sometimes don't feel comfortable doing it themselves in class. It gives them a chance to actually do it without being noticed by the other students in class. So it helps facilitate their shyness and let them get over that and talk. Another best that she gave us was that it gives you a lot of chances for discussion, not just on the actual concepts, but it gives you a chance to discuss things surrounding math. So, for example, where do rational numbers come from? The history of everything. Just referencing a bunch of things. It gives a chance for discussion, which is a struggle in a mathematics classroom sometimes, where it's just, instead of being teacher focused, it becomes student interaction with a teacher as well.
Might even call it student centered.
Student centered. Thank you, Ben.
What else you got there? Well, how did she use it?
How Kelsey used it in her classroom was that they would use apps on iPads or laptops and stuff like that, and then they would screenshot them on the device and then upload it to their blog and blog about what they did. So it was a way to, Kelsey said it was a way for her to assess and to keep work focused in her classroom, which is something a lot of people want in their classrooms, I'd say. I know I want that in my classroom.
It's tough to keep kids focused on something, but I mean, when you can bring in something like computers, or in Kelsey's case, she had a class set of iPads, so it was really easier for her to maintain the blog, and like using all the Apple apps, screenshotting, it's really easy to upkeep that.
Yeah.
Myself, where I was interning, I didn't have that luxury. I had a set of crappy laptops that took half an hour to log onto. So I wanted to blog, but it just wasn't feasible for me.
And in my classroom, I didn't even have a set of laptops or iPads. I was just going, I didn't even have a Mimeo for the longest time.
I didn't even think you were in a classroom.
I was in a classroom.
No, I guess.
We had stone tablets that they had to etch into, but we were getting there. Now, what Kelsey said was the worst part about using blogs. Not necessarily the worst part, but just some downsides to using it.
Yeah.
And that was that you need to be connected to Wi-Fi, which isn't always a possibility, or if the Wi-Fi has an awful connection, it can make things really difficult. Another thing that she said was it's hard to do without a full set of class iPads. So unless you have that full set, so like we were just talking about, if you don't have that full set, it makes it a little bit difficult for the students who don't have the iPad.
We have arrived at our destination, just to let you know.
A little thing that Kelsey wanted us to say is that she thinks that blogging is awesome, and we agree with her that blogging is awesome. And it can set up interactions with students, not just in your classroom or in your school, but students around the world, because it gives you a chance to connect through the internet, like with Skype and all those different things, and also just with blogging on a website, it gives you the chance to have other people see it besides just students in the classroom. It's open to everyone in the world.
Exactly. If you tweet out your class page, boom, you got thousands of people checking out what you're doing. If that's what you want, you can keep it private too, which most people might want to do. But myself, I want to have a completely public, that everybody can see what we're doing type of blog. So,
and I would agree. I think it's awesome to just get that universal connection with everything. It's great. And also on the blog is a chance for commenting and quick feedback to your students as well. So there you have it. Those are some pros and cons to blogging in the classroom. Yep. More specifically, a focus on math classrooms. So thanks for joining us on today's episode of Educational Fun Times with Mitch and Ben. We'll see you next time.
Bye.